In this painting, I will be using a wet in wet technique. By stretching the paper on a wooden or drawing board, a thin layer of water is applied for the skies. I continue to work downwards, applying the layers of watercolor, working light to dark to achieve the appropriate values for light and shadows. Note that I am working around the shape of the sails. This will eventually prevent from any overlayering when applying color for the sails. Now that certain areas have dried, I can start working on additional details I may need to add to the painting. As you can see here, I'm creating layers of color in order to distinguish certain parts within the painting where the light is being projected. The term lifting in watercolor is basically lifting up, taking off color which has already been applied to the paper. By removing the color from certain areas from the paper, you will be able to lighten certain or the same areas that you have applied water in order to lift back up the color that has already been used. Lifting can be done by applying some water with a brush, and that same clean brush will lift up or lighten up those areas, and then you can softly pad using a sponge or a tissue paper in order to lighten up that particular area. However, in this method of lifting, you have to be careful not to overdo your padding, okay, your tapping over that particular area, simply for the fact that you may also end up with areas that tend to dry faster or rather quicker than other parts of the painting which you have applied the water to. So you have to be consistent on the amount of water that you replace over that particular colored area. Now that I've been working on the outer part of the subject, I am now able to continue working on the sails, filling in the correct tones, the correct values that I would need in order to continue with foreground. And notwithstanding that the paper might still be wet, I will have no bleeding going from the sails onto the background subject that I've already worked upon. Having worked upon most of the painting, I am now going through certain details which I need to add, cosmetics that might enhance the painting, using paint directly, a method called alla prima, where one can actually pick up paint directly from the tube and applying it without any particular mix of water. At the final stages of the painting, I turn to use dry brushing. Dry brushing is a method of using more pigment with less water, thus allowing me to use the tip of the brush to create more definition, more detail to certain areas of the painting. Finally, a word on brushes. I've used two types of brushes, two types of mop brushes, and these come in different sizes and texture due to the hair types. On my next video I will go into detail on two brushes and the type of pigment I am using. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and should you wish to contact me, please send me an email on info@josephcasapinta.net. Thank you.